Publishing the paper version of your book after you have already published the ebook is a matter of choice. Is a matter of yes, reader's choice and author's choice, basically. So you would ask yourself, what kind of audience do you have? What kind of environment are you serving? You can easily understand this by, your social media network, the kinds of readers that respond to your blogs or your social media posts, the kinds of readers that are interested in your work. Of course, as an author, you know the kind of, content that you create and who your content is for. So you want to see if you are serving the younger generation that are very techy, that every day they're on their phones, on their iPads, and so these kinds of young generations, basically, I will tell you from experience, are ebook people. I mean, 90% of them, just a few of the younger generation, 21st century, like people of our time, have time to carry hard copies of books. Because, like, 2001 times they're on their phone, their eyes buried on their phones and their iPads. They rather, be mobile with the book. They don't want to be bothered holding a book, but rather everything on their on their phone. You can verify this from church and see how many people come to church. Young people come to church with Bibles these days. They tell you that the Bible is in their iPhone, in their Samsung phone, or whatever phone they use. So you want to, before you spend money publishing a book, for, if you decide to use a private publisher, you want to make sure that your book is going to sell and your audience are interested in that hard copy. Because a lot of authors make a mistake and publish and spend so much money with private publishers, and then they don't even make sales enough to pay the publishers, or basically they don't make enough sales, to cover the expenses of publishing a book, especially in Africa, where you have to pay the publishers to work for you, unlike America, where it's a contract. You see what I'm saying? So today's podcast, my name is Jemima Chucks, your master brand strategist. I want to talk about hard copy version of your book and the importance of having a hard copy of your book after publishing the ebook. I want you to understand that there's a huge difference between a hard copy and a soft copy. There's a difference between the ebook, that's what I mean, and the paper version. Now, the difference is in the readers. Yes, it lies on the readers and your audience. It lies on your audience. It's not a matter, not really. It's more of 90% your audience choice and 10% your choice. So you want to go by your audience. If your audience are traditional people, or you're from Africa, you have a traditional setting where traditionally people in that area, maybe you're from Zimbabwe. I mean, it's not, maybe they don't have enough technology yet, and everyone still holds a book. Then, ebook publishing is okay and it's free, but hey, I will 200% advise that you publish the hard copy of your book, which is like the paper version, because that's what really sells in those kinds of area. You don't want to do an ebook. No one, people barely have cell phones in that area. People barely have internet. They can't even read your ebook. You know what I mean? And so, except they download it. If you're in some part of Africa, where people manage data, or where people manage the space on their phone, on their Kindle or their iPads, they're so cautious of space, then it might be difficult for them to buy an ebook, because now they have to download it and it's going to take so much space in their phone or on their iPads, and so they might just want to buy a paper version. Now, it just depends on where you are. If you're in the US, where you use a Samsung, there's like 68 gigs unlimited storage, so you don't even have to worry. Or you have a Google saver. You have all these online platforms, Dropbox, where you can save your books. That's good. So, but for Africa, you might not be able, they don't really, some of the people are not that technical enough to have those platforms to save your book. So they might want to do paper version more. So it still boils down to their choice. Remember, that's why I keep, reemphasizing publishing a hard copy depends on your audience and where you are. Now, publishing a hard copy is very, very good because you can have that in libraries. You can have that in, different libraries, local libraries, because they're not going to take, they might have the ebook. Yes, they will get the ebook as well. But, when people go to the library, they're not going there to read ebook. They're going there to take a hard copy to read. And so that might be a place where you want to take your book to. So they need a hard copy. Advantage of publishing a hard copy is for, if your book is educational, if your book is very informative, for local areas in Africa, like some villages, also, local, yeah, definitely local areas, they might need your book, and those places they're not techie, and they need a hard copy of your book because they will appreciate it and it will inspire the young people there. So for your book to sell in some states that are not high tech states, especially Nigeria, then you need a hard copy of your book. So hard copies are good. Now let's talk about the profit margin for Amazon. Amazon, will print and publish for you, will publish and print for you, as well as mail your books to their clients. When the people order, when the reader orders online on Amazon, they get it. Amazon ships everything. So all you just have to do on your part is for you to fill the application, upload the book, open an account with them, upload the book in the exact format. I have the format, so I'm going to be teaching them that as well. In the exact format that they require, it's right there online. While you're doing it, you're going to see the format and, the right sizing and everything. Once you upload that, Amazon is fine and they approve it, and 24 hours your book is live. It means that people are going to place orders, and when they place our orders, so if you publish your book today and is live by this time tomorrow, and someone places order and you get a couple of good orders, Amazon kind of, they need, like, usually it takes them, they'll tell you, 7 business days for a very brand new book, because they want to get enough orders so they could print. I mean, not really enough, even if it's not enough. So in that 7 days, they give time for them to print. So usually they print a lot of your books and keep. So when people order, they ship it to those people. You don't even do nothing. You just get the royalties. You make money in the account. So once your money gets up to $100, they send you a check. So they get 70%, you get 30%, because literally you just wrote and they did the whole other work. Yes, they do the rest for you. And with that being said, they also offer free book cover design templates while you're uploading. Let's say you don't have a book cover designed, Amazon offers that for free as well. You can click and you don't have to pay for it, and you just customize it to suit your book. And so these are the great offers, and Okada Books has the same feature as well. You can upload your book for free on Okada Books Nigeria, and you can upload your book for free on Amazon. So these two platforms are incredible for paper version. Why I love Amazon for paper version is because when you write your book, Amazon just does everything for you. You don't even just go to bed, and your alert will just be coming. That's what happened to me in my first book. My alerts were coming, and the due time I get my checks. At the end of the month, I get some very good checks from Amazon, even though it's 30%. But hey, when you sell like 2,000 3,000 copies of your book, 4,000 copies of your 5,000 copies of your book, the 30% ends up becoming something worth it. Now, let's go to you ordering from Amazon. Like my book, for example, let me be sincere with you. My book is $12.95. Do you know that Amazon gave me my book for $2 plus? And so for each book, that's what Amazon, let's say I ordered 1,000 copies of my book, the hard copy, and Amazon shipped they mailed my book to me at the rate of $2 something, $2.45. So I made over $10 and a couple of cents per book when I sold it myself. So you see, that's the advantage. So if you sell yourself for hard copy, you make more money. But if people order on Amazon, order your book on Amazon, you make 30%. So with this, you're making, hey, come on, that's like about 95. That's a lot of money. You're making so much money. Sorry, I'm bad with math, but you know what I'm saying? So I made over $10 from my book. I felt that was like super incredible. So with that, if you order your hard copy, this is what I always say. I tell people, call people to invite you for events and to invite you for their conferences, speak at people's event for free, go with your book, go with at least 50 copies. Now, find out how many crowd is coming, how many people are they expecting. If they say we're expecting 50 people, go with like 60 copies of your book. If they tell you they're expecting 100 people, go with like 150 copies of your book. Never go with less than the crowd that they tell you they're expecting. So the good thing with when you publish to Amazon is when they print and ship that to you, you're able to sell and make so much money. All right. You're able to sell. So imagine you're making $1,000 times 1,000 copies of your book. You're making $10, beg your pardon, $10 times 1,000 copies of your book. That's some good money. I mean, you can't beat that. You cannot beat that. So that's the advantage. And you can do book tour and you just sell your book everywhere you go. Talk about your book, put it in your purse, tell people about it. They want to see it and collect the money and get an envelope. Don't be careless and be spending your book money on your private spending. Don't do that. So if you have your book in your bag and you're traveling and moving everywhere with it, talk about your book, get a brown envelope in your purse. So and have some change in your bag. So, and don't sell above what Amazon sells. So rather sell less. So I don't want to deal with, because my book is $12.95. So I don't want to you give me $13. I'm looking for, a couple of cents to give you. So what I just do, I sell it $10. I know you don't have to do that. You can decide to sell yours $13 or $15. It's up to you. So, but my point is have change in your purse so you can, give people their balance, their change, or you just sell it round figure and put the money in the envelope in your purse. And so at the end of the month, go to the purse and see how much you made from the random sales. So try to be organized. Always when you're doing this, try to stay with one bag. So maybe you could have your own purse and then you can have your book bag. That's the one you carry around and the money is there, cash. Once you come home, take the money from the purse. Don't carry cash around. Take the money from the bag and put in the wallet in the brown envelope that it's in your room and keep it nicely. So at the end of the month, you compare it with the check Amazon sent you and the cash that you sold, and you do your bookkeepings right. So at the end of the day, at the end of the season, maybe the season you gave yourself was 6 months, you can say, okay, this 6 months I sold $20,000, made $20,000 from my book, and the cost of everything was like $2,000 or $3,000. So I literally made $17,000 profit. So you want to be able to know how much profit you make from your book, because selling and spending doesn't help you. Well, this is what I wanted to share. So It's up to you. Remember, your audience matters. Publishing hard copy is not a must. You must understand your audience first. If the kind of area, your environment matters, yes, study the market, find out your environment, your audience. What kind of audience are they? Young generation? Are they older generation? People that read that love your post online, people you associate with, the people who are your audience basically. So just suit your audience. That's how you know if you need to publish a hard copy or just ebook. So I'm Jemima Chooks, your Master Brand Strategist. Congratulations. See you at the top.